Alrighty, good afternoon, YouTube. This is another. Sorry, I'm thinking about. I saw the movie late, and I'm recording it now, like last week. It's just I didn't get a chance. If that makes any sense. I saw the movie late. I'm just now doing the review. And I'm really laughing at all the funny scenes I'm thinking of. But this is the Hangover 2. This one's probably gonna be really short. I would say like 5 minutes, hopefully. But I'll just start in saying pretty much the movie is like the first one. Well, for the people who haven't seen The Hangover, it's about well the first one is about four guys and they're having a good night in Vegas, and then next morning they wake up, drunk as fuck, and they can't well they were drinking heavily the other night, and then they wake up, hungover as fuck, and then one of their friends is missing, and pretty much they're trying to find out all the pieces, of what happened. And with the whole thing, it's really funny how they go and piece it together. This one's a little bit much more of course, a nightmare. Spoiler alert for the first one, and of course this one. I think the first one they had rooflin in their they had rooflin in their drinks. And I think Alan was the one who had spiked it. Then he indirectly did the same thing again, except he put muscle relaxant in it. But the difference, of course, with this, he had a different reason and why he did it. And to be honest, after seeing this movie, this is the worst. Going to Thailand, it's one thing if you have a hangover at your house, at least you're safe. But anywhere outside, that is like straight up irresponsibility, regardless of any kind of funny story you want to tell right after that. But with this film, it pretty much is in Thailand, and of course, being in other countries, you don't want to screw up and do that. As funny as it may be, I know in real life, the shit probably really isn't that funny. But this movie did have his good laughs. It really did remind you it was a movie. So pretty much in this one, the same situation happened, except I think there's a wedding going on. Stu, the guy with the face tattoo, he's getting married to a woman from Thailand, and it has its moments a little bit like Meet the Parents, where of course the dad doesn't like Stu, and technically it's a classic. The in-laws have to hate you, and that's one of the reasons why I don't want to get married. Just that on a personal note, because the one thing that my mom did say about me, I want to be liked by everybody. But after seeing the reality, people can hate you for multiple different reasons, and you don't have to do shit to them 9 times out of 10. Yeah, it's just that they could be jealous of something or envious, or well, that's the same thing. Or they don't like a certain trait. It can happen over time. Most of the time, it does happen right then and there, mostly with jealousy. But what was I gonna say? It can build up over time. Like, you can say or do something, and it just changed the whole warped perspective. I know I've done it. I've done it to a few of my managers who I thought were cool, and then after that one interaction of what they would say or do, and they be on some bitch shit, I'd be like, oh, okay, so you one of them kind of people. And it's 2 of them at work who are on that list right now. One of them, I hopefully doesn't turn out that way, because he screwed somebody else over, and it was just a messed up, fucked up situation. But I'm just rambling on and get back to the movie. So and as a spoiler, he put muscle relaxant in it. And the reason why I brought up the wedding in the first place, I think Stu had brought along his brother-in-law, his young brother-in-law, who's like 16, and he's the one that goes up missing this time. And of course they're tripping and whatnot. Fuck the wedding. This dude could be dead or whatever. But and of course the dude cut off his own finger. That was just gross. I was like, I would never do that. That's one of the reasons why I would never do that in another country. But this movie is very good for laughs. I can't remember that guy's name that plays Alan. He's on the screen right now. He's the one with the bald head and the super beard. And I know Bradley Cooper. He does Rocket Raccoon on Guardians of the Galaxy movies, and there's some more stars in this. The guy that played Chow, and the first Hangover, the Asian dude, he's back in this Mike Tyson has a small cameo at the very end. Jamie Chung, who's a very beautiful woman, is in this. She was on a Real World, and she was on that very, very bad Dragon Ball movie, and she was on something else too. I'm trying to remember. I think she was on Man with the Iron Fist. She was RZA's girlfriend in that. And who else is in this film? The first guy who went missing is back in this one as well. I think in the third one, I think the character's name was Doug. They had cut him out completely because they realized that he was pretty much the wheel that was cut out, and he wasn't as funny being on screen with these guys. And I haven't seen the third one, to be honest. I think the first one was good enough. I know a lot of people, after a while, they didn't like The Hangover. They didn't like the second one and the third one because they realized they were trying to milk it. And thank God they did not do a fourth one. So the movies aren't bad, but they were like the two movies. They really weren't that necessary. So it was still funny. It's, in the words of Jeremy Jahns, it's a good time to watch when you're either high or you're drunk. Yeah. So ironically, the Hangovers. But I remember seeing this, and ironically, when I reviewed Taken 2. Okay, so let me rewind. I first saw the first Hangover and Taken 2 in college, and then ironically, I'm reviewing this, and I'm going to be reviewing later on Taken 2 as well. But I remember seeing both movies at a time where I was very happy in college, and it was a lot of good memories. And of course, we were kind of a tad bit drunk watching the first one. And yeah, it was just some funny shit. It was just a good time, with alcohol or no alcohol required. Mentioning, Jeremy Jahns. But that's pretty much all I got. It's just a straightforward film. It's nothing deep, philosophical, whatnot. And of course, me chuckling, thinking about all the funny scenes. I think my funniest, the scene I liked the most was when Chow was about to tell him what happened that night, and then he said, "First, let me do some blow," and then he just falls over dead, and then they're spazzing out, and dude, Alan's in a corner crying and shit, and it was just the funniest thing. But thinking about it right now. But I'll talk to you guys later. The next review is gonna be another controversial one in the film world. I can tell you what it is, but you'll know right after I upload in a certain order, and you might possibly see it when I upload this one. But talk to you guys later. Peace.